Hello everyone and welcome to this video on this course of getting started with Angular. In this part of the video, I will be going over how an Angular project gets loaded and started. I will also be going over how we install modules such as bootstrap and what's the difference between -save, -save, -dev. That was a bit technical, but I will be going over in detail what I just said. The main purpose of this video is to give you guys a better understanding of where did this concept of single page web application come from. We have multiple components. We can have multiple components inside of an Angular project. And we do have multiple pages technically. We can have app component.html, some other component.html. We can have multiple components. Then why do we say that Angular is this single page web application concept? I did go over this particular thing in some of my previous videos, but I do believe that it was not that detailed. So in this video, I'll try my best to explain this so you guys can get a better understanding of what it is that I mean when I say that Angular is used to build reactive single page web applications. Before I do that, I would like to install Bootstrap on my project. Now, right now my project looks something like this. So yeah, and this is something I did in the previous videos, right? When we loaded an ng model. I have this button which is pretty ugly looking. And I have provided this btn. Btn is primary, which is a bootstrap class, which is used to add styling to that button. But right now I don't have bootstrap loaded into my project. That's why I see that button without any styles. How do we go about adding bootstrap or any other module? But I'll specifically focus on bootstrap into our Angular project. Well, the first thing is that we have to install it. So what we do is npm install bootstrap add 3. 3 is bootstrap 3. I click on enter. So bootstrap has been successfully added. Now, if I were to go to my packet.json, do I see something? Yeah, I see bootstrap over here as a part of the dependencies, but I also see this dev dependencies over here. Now, what's the difference? Dev dependencies are something that we use to run the project successfully on our local machine. We have these Jasmine Core, Karma, which are used for unit testing in Angular. And we mostly use these in our local machine to make sure that our Angular project is working fine. But we don't need these when we are deploying this application to production. And that is why you won't find these particular libraries over here. So there is a difference between a dependency and a dev dependency. Now, what if I wanted to install this particular bootstrap, which I just did, as a part of dev dependencies? So what I'll do is I will do uninstall bootstrap. I just want to remove it. It's gone. It's gone from the dependencies. What I do is npm install -save -dev, and it is added. Obviously I didn't provide the 3, so it's a 5.2.2 bootstrap 5. But yeah, this was just to give you an idea of what is a dependency, what is dev dependency, and how do we install a particular module as a part of dev dependency or dependency. So we just add -save -dev. If you just have -save, it will be saved as a part of dependencies. But if you have the -dev in front of the -save, it will be stored as a part of dev dependencies. So yeah, let me just install it again, uninstall it basically. Now with that concept out of the way, what's the difference between a dev dependency and dependency? I want to add bootstrap into my project. If I were to go to node modules over here, and remember what I said in the previous videos, the node module stores all of the installed modules, all of the installed libraries inside of this folder. So node modules contains all of the libraries or the modules installed. If I were to go to, let's say, it was something like bootstrap. Yeah. If I can find bootstrap. Yeah, so this is bootstrap over here. We have the dist folder, we have the CSS, and we have the bootstrap directory. All of the CSS files are loaded over here. So bootstrap has been installed and it's a part of the node modules folder. But we have no way of telling Angular. How do we tell Angular to load bootstrap in so we can use it inside of our project? This is where we do that particular element. We go inside of the angular.json. I did mention that I will be going over these files as we progress in the course. And inside of the angular.json, we have this styles array. this styles key actually, which has an array. And what we do is we provide the address to the bootstrap files which have been installed inside of node modules. So that is node modules slash bootstrap slash dist slash css slash bootstrap dot min dot css, and make sure you reload the project just to make sure that the bootstrap files are loaded in. And it's recompiling, compiled successfully. If I were to now go to my application, you can see that bootstrap has been loaded in. That button is not that grayish, dull looking anymore. The bootstrap classes have been loaded in. So this is how you go about adding bootstrap to your project or any other module. So this was a basic introduction to how do we add bootstrap or any other module. Now I will be going over how an Angular project gets loaded in the first place. I have this file index.html. It is a single file, right? I have this app-root selector. Now this is not a vanilla HTML selector like a p tag or an h1 tag or a div tag. It is a custom tag. We don't see app-root in other HTML projects. It's something that is custom built, right? How does this index.html file know that this app-root refers to app.component.ts and the select over here? How does this index.html know that this app-root is this whole app component over here? Where does that logic happen? Well, this is where we look into how an Angular project gets loaded. If we were to go to the project over here that we have, and if we click on view page source, we see app-root over here, obviously. We also see this script over here. The script tag contains a whole bunch of JavaScript files, and I can see this main.js over here. This main.js has been translated from this main.ts file. In Angular, whenever an Angular project gets loaded and started, all TypeScript files are eventually translated into corresponding JavaScript files, which are then run in the browser. This main.ts file has this code over here, which is platform browser dynamic.bootstrap module app module. So what this bootstrap, this particular element, this part of the code from line 11 to 12 does is that it takes app module, and where is this app module coming from? It is coming from this app.module.ts. And it's nothing more than this entire app component. This app module refers to the entire app component. It refers to the imports, it refers to the component itself, and it refers to providers in Bootstrap. So basically what we tell Angular is that, hey, whenever you're loaded into the browser, make sure you have the app module loaded as well. So that can be loaded, loaded into the browser. Now, there's another thing which is very important. If I go to the app.module.ts, I see this bootstrap component. What if I decide to remove this? Because we did go over in the previous videos that declarations are used to use other components inside the component. They're used to declare pipes, directives, all of those which we'll be going over in detail in the coming videos. I also went over briefly what are imports. When we are trying to use different libraries, different modules inside of a component, you have imports for that. We provide that module, the address to that module in the imports array, and we have providers which are used to declare services, something that we'll cover in the later videos. What is this bootstrap key doing? If I were to remove this and save and go back to my project, I should not see anything, and I'm not seeing anything, rightfully so. If I were to inspect this page, I go to my body, I see app-root, but it's empty. There is nothing inside. It's just an empty tag. Because what this bootstrap key does is that it tells main.ts that when you load this app module in, kickstart or initiate this app component. Like by initiate, I mean is that initialize it, run it, make sure all of those files are loaded. This is what this bootstrap key does is. I can assure you guys, we will not be using this bootstrap key very much when we progress in this course. This is just something to give you guys an idea of what this bootstrap key does is to give you, to sum it up, main.ts has the code which loads and starts the Angular project, translates the entire components and the TypeScript files into their corresponding JavaScript files, and make sure those components are available in the browser. They're available in the browser as vanilla JavaScript files. This is what main.ts does. This is the single most important file there is, obviously. And the only way for for index.html to know what is app-root or any other selector is through this main.ts file, which does all of that translation. So yeah, this was a very I won't say it was very brief, but it was a general introduction into how an Angular project gets loaded, it gets started, how we can go about installing Bootstrap or any other module. We'll be installing a lot of modules as we progress in the course. And what's the difference between -save and -save-dev. Now, if you guys were to just do npm install Bootstrap without -save, it would still store it as a part of the dependencies key over here, which is something that I did show. Only if you want to add a particular module as a part of the dev dependencies do we do npm install -save-dev, and then next to -dev we provide the name of the module. So I hope I have explained this whole concept of how Angular projects get loaded into the browser well. I hope I've gone over, I hope you guys now have at least Bootstrap running on your projects as well. Just in case if some of you are struggling with installing Bootstrap or any other module, feel free to leave a comment on this video. If you like this content that I'm creating, please give me a like, share this content with your friends and family, for that helps me out a lot. And until we meet in the next video, take care guys.